Let's add another funds. Let's add another salary, 5K. Submit. Let's reduce, say rent, and say 2K, 2K. Yeah, okay, whatever. Everything works fine, and if we refresh, everything stays in place because we have our database working. This is super cool. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Anthony, and in today's video we're gonna create the mobile application using Ionic and Vue. The application will be some sort of the coin keeper, like the funds record, where you can add a balance, reduce it, calculate all your expenses and stuff like that. And also we're gonna use the real database with Firebase. So let's get into it. First of all, we go to ionicframework.com and search for Vue documentation. If you don't have Ionic client installed, you can just run this command in your package manager. You need to install it globally. In our case, we already have it. So let's open our terminal and let's just copy this thing, put it here, but I just want to create a blank app and the name will be coin keeper. Why not? And let's start. So system asks us to pick up a framework. We're going to use Vue, obviously, and let's wait a little bit until it's done downloading everything. Okay, now the installation is done. We don't want to create any Ionic account for now, and we have our project created. So let's open it in our code editor and quickly remove everything that we don't need. Let's go to views, homepage, and if you have the similar issue in your JetBrains IDE, the only thing you will need to do is to go to ESLint, refactor, rename, and instead of JS, add CJS. Now, in the homepage, let's do the following. So first of all, I don't need any of the header here. I don't need the div, and I obviously don't need any of this thing. TypeScript is also not needed. And I don't need any of these styles. Right. So first of all, since I need to use these Ionic components, but I don't want to import them manually, let's do the following. I've already prepared all the necessary components that I'm going to be using here. And in the main.js, you can just import all these components from Ionic and then simply use them. App component, you specify a name and the component, and everything now works perfectly fine. So let's first of all launch our application, and we say Ionic serve. We have it up and running. Let's open it in the sort of mobile application. Let's pick up the iPhone 12 and we see everything here. So let's now go and start our markup. I also don't need any header here. So first of all, let's create a balance display. We're gonna use Ion card. We're gonna use Ion card header. Come on, header here. And here we're gonna use Ion row with two Ion columns. One which will be balance. Balance without a. And the second one will be the actual value, let's say, of our balance, let's say $1,000. And I want to have align items center. And let's see what we've got here. So we have it here. Let me zoom a little bit. How can I zoom it? Yep. And now, yeah, the only thing that I want to actually wrap it in the Ion card title thingy here, and the same will go for our budget here, and it's gonna be $1,000. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, perfect. And we can also say class Ion text end, and we're gonna see it aligned to the right. Now, next thing, let's do the buttons to add and reduce the balance. We're gonna use, the row, Ionic row with 2 Ion columns here. One will be will have Ion button with sort of add funds, and another one will be reduce funds. Let's see what we've got. We have it perfect. Now just one button will be color danger, and the expand block. Let's make it on the column, and I want to have same pretty much for this one. Yep, perfect. We have 2 buttons. Everything is awesome. Now, last but not least, let's have our list Ion card with Ion row with Ion column, and we're gonna have 2 columns here, and here we will have Ion card title with the, let's say, rent, and we will have another one, but not the title, but subtitle, and it's gonna be some date, I don't know, 23rd of September 2022, 23rd, and here we're gonna have a value. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, perfect, just looks a little bit not that cool. Let's actually wrap this thing in Ion card title as well. Let's see, yes, and let's align it class Ion text end. Yeah, perfect, looks well. Now, this is only the static HTML sort of. Let's create something. So let's say we want to have const records list, which will be import ref from Vue, which will be an array of objects, and every object will have a comment. Let's say rent, or actually let's do initial funds. We'll have a value, which we're gonna be $1,000, and we're gonna have date, which will be new date to date string. And let's loop through that thingy. So we have our row. We just say v4 record in, actually record and index in, and we need to wrap it in the brackets. We will say that the key will be index, and here we're gonna have the record comment here will be the record date, and here will be record value. Let's see what we've got. Perfect, awesome. And let's say that I want, in case of the if it's an income or sort of expense, I want to color it a little bit. So let's add actually one more thing in our object is expense, and it's gonna be false. Expense, yeah. And we're gonna check that if record is expense, actually not is expense. we will say class if, we will say, let's say added funds if not record is expense. And let's say that our add funds will have color, and we can use actually the variable ion color success. Let's see what we've got. Not add funds. Sorry, added funds. Added funds. Yeah, perfect. So it's green. Now let's just, to check this out, add another one, which is gonna be 100, let's say, rent, and it's gonna be true instead. Let's make it more realistic. Yeah, now it's perfectly set. And just last thing I wanna say is to add a $sign. Perfect, everything works fine. Now, on the click of that button, I wanna edit, either add or reduce funds. For that purpose, we can have in the Vue Ionic components, we have the modal, and we can use this component. So let's do it. Let's just go here and create a modal. So let's just copy and put something here. It's gonna be modal. We won't need any of this for now. We will just say that is open will be is add funds modal open, and let's go and create our variable. Will be ref false by default, and we will need to have also the dismiss, which will be a function, and we just say that is our modal value false, right? And we can go here and say close, for instance. We don't need any title here. We don't need, let's see how it works actually. Let's go here, and on our buttons, we have buttons add funds. We can say that click will be true. And also one important thing is that apart from is open, I want to use will dismiss the event which has happened before dismissing the model. I want to say that I want to actually call the same function here, just to make sure my dismiss, my add funds model will be closed. So let's see what we've got. Refresh. Click, we have it open, we have it visible. Now if I close it, let me make sure our is fund model open true, close, it switched to false, and everything works perfect. So now let's add another click event on our another button. Where is my button? Here. And also, since I want to differentiate between adding and closing and reducing the funds, I want to have a little bit different functions. Let's say open funds model, and it will have a payload. And we're gonna do the same here. Open funds model, and if it's adding, I want to say true, otherwise false. So let's create it. Above const add funds model. Open funds model will be a function, is expenses, and we're gonna do the same stuff here, value true, and also let's actually change a little bit. This is gonna be true and this is gonna be false. And also let's create const is new record with expenses will be ref false by default. And we also gonna say that value equals, sorry, not here, is new record with expenses value is expenses. That's it. And now let's see what we've got here. Actually, one more thing. I want my model to be slightly smaller than the screen size. We can have, according to their documentation, again, you can scroll down and see we have a bunch of properties on the Ion model. So we can say that we have possible breakpoints, meaning that like hidden, half visible and full visible, and initial one will be half of the screen size. Let's go and see what we've got. Let's refresh and add fonts. So it's half visible. We can scroll it to the top. And let's see, is new record with expenses false? I'm closing it. Now it's true. Perfect. And also it's closing by click outside. Now let's remove what we don't need. We don't need that confirm button here. Let's see what we've got. Yes, and I want inside the content, I don't want any Ion items. I want to have just two inputs with the amount and the comment. Const record will be just an empty object. And let's create two inputs. Ion input. And we're gonna have the model here with record comment, label, comment, and label placement floating. Let's do the same stuff for another input. It's just gonna be value and amount. And I want to create Ion button, which will be, let's say, submit. And on the button, we will say expand block. I want to have it full width, and on click, add fonts function. Let's create the function. Const add fonts will be a function which will do nothing for now. Now let's check this out. All right, yeah, we have it here. We just don't see the borders. Let's do a little bit of adjusting, and let's go to the variable CSS, and just at the very bottom, let's say Ion input, border bottom, solid 1 pixel, and it's gonna be, I don't know, some gray color. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, perfect. And let's move our button a little bit down. We say class, Ion margin, bottom. Yeah, whatever. So now let's add something like rent, and amount will be, I don't know, 120. Yeah, we have it populated here. In order to submit it, let's go to our add fonts, and let's say const data, we kind of clone the record. And also I want to add a date, so it's gonna be date, new date, now, to date string. And we gonna say that our record list value push our data here. And also I want to close my model, but I can just call a dismiss. Yeah. And also I want to say if no record value comment or no record value we just return. Let's see what we've got. So let's refresh. Let's add fonts, say grocery, and will be $50 amount. Let's see. We have added here, but not comment date value. Date was not added. Oh, sorry. record value. Let's say grocery and $50 amount. Yeah, we've added it perfectly. And also we need data is expenses will be our is new record value, meaning that we need to understand if it was expense or not. Let's check this out. If we are adding, let's add another rent, 500. This is gonna be is expenses false. Now, if I reduce funds and say, we need to clear it basically, grocery, and it will be, 120, submit, grocery is expenses true. Yeah, perfect. Is expenses. Why is it marked as green? Not is expenses. Sorry, is expense. Yep. One more time. Test. 1, 2, 3. Yes. And if we add funds, test plus plus. Yeah. Awesome. Now I also want to clear my record. So I will just say that record value equals just a new one. Let's see, refresh, add funds, test, 50, submit, and if we use, yeah, it's cleared and perfectly fine. And now, last but not least, let's make our balance statement dynamic. So let's go and somewhere here, let's create const total balance, which will be a computed property, which we automatically import from Vue. And it's gonna be this. So we're gonna return our record list value reduce. We're gonna have a summary and element, let's say. And if element is expense, right? Was it expense? Yeah. We will return sum minus element value. And in else, we will return sum plus element value. And we will put a 0 here. And now let's see, let's go to the balance and let's replace our value here in the cart title. Let's refresh. Okay, first of all, it works already. Initial funds, $1,000. We have rent, 600, and it's 400. Let's do a little bit of testing. Let's add another, let's say salary, and it will be $200. Submit. Oh, yeah, we need to make it a number. Hold on a second. It will be number, and it will be number here as well. Let's see, add funds, salary, and we're gonna have 2,000, submit, yeah, 240. Now let's pay another rent, which will be $800, for instance. Yeah, so it's working fine. So now basically our application is working totally fine. We have just one problem. If we refresh, nothing is saved. So let's do the following. Let's go to the Firebase. Here on the main page, of course, you need to have a Google account. For that purpose, you can use your existing one. It will, like, if you log, you will see it. So assuming you have a Google account, just let's get started. I already have quite some projects here, so you just need to click. Let me make it bigger a little bit. Add project. Let's say coin keeper. continue. We don't need any analytics for now, and we just click create project and wait up until it will be created. Your new project is ready. Let's click continue and let's do a little bit of configuration. And it says get started by adding Firebase to your app. So we have our web application, register up. It will be coin keeper. Also set Firebase hosting. No, I don't need hosting for now. Register up. Okay, now first thing we need to do, this is the very detailed instruction. We need to install Firebase. Let's go to our project. Let's go to terminal and add a new one, npm install Firebase. Let's wait up until it's done. Okay, we have our Firebase installed into our project. Let's see what they want next. Then initialize Firebase and begin using SDK for the product. Let's create in our src new, let's actually create it in the root directory file, which will be firebase.js. Yeah. And let's just copy and paste it here and continue to the console. So what we need to create a database. So we can search for Cloud Firestore. It will be automatically added to project shortcuts. And let's create a database. Let's wait for everything to be done. Start in production, start in test mode, please select, and let's go next. Your location setting is where your Cloud Firestore will be stored. So let's say we want to be in Europe. Enable provisioning Cloud Firestore, perfect. And we have our database basically created. So what I want to do, I want to have some sort of users, because I assume there might be multiple users, and if we will create an authentication later on, we will need a collection of users. So let's say users, next. Document. For now, I want to generate document ID. This is very crucial by Firebase because I don't have any tools to generate it. So let's do it like here. And let's have basically the same structure of fields as we have in our project. We will have a records list. This will be an array. And inside an array, we will have a map with the fields such as comment. Actually, we don't need to fill it right now, so let's remove it and we'll just have a record list. So what we've got now, we have users with the user basically, and we have an empty records list. Let's go and try to populate it with our data. First thing first, in the Firebase.js, we will need to import get Firestore from Firestore, and let's say const database is get, and we pass our app here that was already created, and we will need to export database here. Now let's create also quickly the store. Obviously, I want to use Pinia. Let's go here, get started, get started, and I want to npm install Pinia. Let's go to terminal, install Pinia, our state management, and let's go and create new folder store, and we will have new file user.js. Add. Now import define store from Pinia. We also want to import database from Firebase, database from Firebase.js. Yeah. Expert const user store, define store, which will be user, and we will have some options, and we will have state function, and we will have the records here, which will be an empty array, and we will have actions. And let's say we're gonna have add record to store. And let's say we're gonna receive record, and we say this records push record. Perfect. Now let's go to our home page and import user store, create store, and when we are adding our funds, we will, apart from everything, we will say that user store, sorry, not user store, store add record, and we're gonna add the data to our add store. Let's see what we've got. Let's refresh. Oh, whoa. Let's actually move it to src, refactor, and let's, yeah, exactly. Actually, let's make it this way. Now, what we have was called, but there was, yeah, we need to install our Pinia. We need to say import create Pinia from Pinia, const Pinia create Pinia, and we will ask our app to use Pinia with the dot. Right. Let's see, do we have it working now? Yep. Now let's go to our, where's our view? Okay, let's refresh it. And yep, I need view, I need Pinia, and we have user with an empty record. So let's add a record. First of all, let's remove something, actually everything. It will be just an empty list for now. Right. Now let's add funds. Let's say in salary will be $3,000. Submit. And why is it not opening? We have some errors. Cannot read property of undefined reading records in the Pinia, right? These records, yeah, I should probably do it without the arrow function. Now let's try add funds, salary, and it's gonna be 3,000. Submit. Yeah, we've added it. Let's check the view. Yeah, we have it here. Let's reduce something. Let's say rent will be $500. Remove. Yeah, perfect. Everything is being calculated absolutely perfectly. So last thing, pretty much, we need to, apart from just populating our local store, which doesn't make any sense because if we refresh, it will be gone. Let's save it to our database. And let's say Firebase docs, or even say Firebase Firestore add element, add data to cloud store. And here you have a pretty detailed instruction how to do that. Initialize, set a document. To create or override a single document, use the following language specific. So let's do the following. Let's import the, we need this and this, set doc and doc. And then let's just copy the entire thingy here. And let's see, yeah, let's make it async. DB, database. In that case, we need to replace DB to database. We need users. I think it was users. Yep. And users. And since we have only one user with a specific ID, let's manually, let's manually edit here. What the hell is this? Like this with the, yeah, exactly. Why is it underlined? Set doc. Okay, we will set a record here. Data record. Now let's see what we've got. So for now we don't have anything here. Let's go to our app. It's not okay with something. The request module Firebase does not provide an expert name default. Database. Okay, yeah, makes total sense. Oops, makes total sense. We need to wrap it here. Refresh, and let's try again. Salary. 3,000 bucks. We save it. We got it. Now let's go to our Firebase, and actually you already see that we have it here, which is working just really cool, right? Now let's reduce funds and say rent 500 bucks, submit, and we have it here. Yeah. You see it's been overwritten, so we need a little bit of different. Update elements in array. Here it is. All right, so here, exactly. So we don't need this anymore. We need to update doc and array union here. Now I want to record reference, rename it a little bit. We need users here, and we need our ID here like this. Set doc database, we don't need this anymore. And we say not regions, but records, array union, record. Database. All right, let's see what we've got here. The only thing is that since we don't have, let's remove actually what we've got here. Remove, and remove. I have a feeling that if we don't have these records, it won't create it, but let's see. Let's refresh. Add funds, salary, 3,000, add, and let's go to our Firestore. Okay, we have records. Now, I want to reduce funds and say rent, 500, submit, and yeah, perfect. Everything works super cool. Now, last but not least is obviously we need to fetch the data from the database. So let's just go and say read data, get data. And in order to example data, get a document, we can use that structure. Let's go and let's create an action. Fetch data from DB, and let's put it here. Now we want to first of all replace everything here. We need a get doc, obviously, and yeah, that's it. Doc snap await get, yeah, let's make it async. We need users, our collection, path segment will be our ID, static for now. Okay, and let's populate these records equals doc snap data. Let's see what we've got. If we now go here and refresh, we should have something, but we don't have. Yeah, because we need to use it. Sorry. Let's say on mounted and go somewhere here and say on mounted, we will store fetch data from the B. That's pretty much it. Let's refresh. Yeah, now we have 2 records. The only problem is, because records, let's change it a little bit. Let's say not the doc snap, but like this. And refresh. And we have, what is this? Doc snap data is not a function, or it returns value is not iterable. But what is this data? It is records, sorry. Records, right? Let's see. View. Yeah, and I want to now fulfill my data. First of all, I don't need this anymore. I want to also remove this completely. I want to say store records here. Let's copy it. And where else do we have? Yeah, in store records. Yeah, let's see what we've got. Cannot read property of undefined reduce. What the hell is wrong with here? Reduce store records. Yeah, obviously no value here. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so it seems we have everything works perfectly. We have state records. Let's add another funds. Let's add another salary. 5K. Submit. Let's reduce. Say rent and say 2K to 2K. Yeah, okay, whatever. Everything works fine, and if we refresh, everything stays in place because we have our database working. This is super cool. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was not too complicated. Give a like, subscribe, and see you in the next video where we're gonna deploy our application. Cheers, bye bye.